Welcome back to Mind Trick Media. Today, we're having sort of the intro. We're going to yell. There's going to be a conversation, and we're going to be mad. So he doesn't know about this for the most part. I found some websites and some articles and some forums and some posts, and they're I don't know what they are, so I listed them all. We're doing other people's. We've done this before for us. We're doing other people's hot takes about Star Wars, and I know I'm gonna be upset. Didn't we do like 5 Star Wars
just
hot
letting
takes?
you guys know, he's going to be screaming the whole time.
Oh, okay. First one, you're gonna be mad. Ready? The Last Jedi is so easily the best Star Wars movie since the original trilogy, and it's not particularly close. And the fan response to that movie is why there hasn't been a single good Star Wars project since Andor. This is bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how.
Okay, this is first off, his argument sucks. The Last Jedi is so easily the best Star Wars movie, and then list a TV show. First off, he's fucking wrong.
Yeah,
So,
he didn't list the best movie or the best TV show.
well, I mean, he says since the original trilogy, you're high. Episodes 1 and 3 are definitely better. Well, okay, even if we're gonna just say Attack of the Clones is terrible and it's worse than the worst movie, which it's not. The Last Jedi is not better than 1 and 3, and is also not as good as The Force Awakens.
No, it's not.
Or Rogue One. I didn't even think. Well, is that before or after? That's before. No, it's after. I have no clue.
I don't know. Rogue One's definitely a better movie than it, though. Rise of Skywalker.
Force Awakens is better. 1 and 3 are definitely better.
Yeah.
I would argue 2 is better, but I have different opinions. I understand that that's a hot take.
I agree. That is a hot
The
take.
Last Jedi, it's not the worst of the 3 just because The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
The Rise
I
of
think
Skywalker was better than it up until the last 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No, as soon as he said Palpatine has returned, it was dick after that. I don't know what timestamp that was.
I don't know if you knew this, but they just recently said the original script for The Rise of Skywalker, and Anakin was supposed to come back.
Jordan, they've said
I know
they're trying anything to make us feel hopeful.
No, but
We'll get into that later.
we know that would have been better. But
So, yeah. This is a fucking terrible hot take.
yeah, and I don't think Andor. We've already done the TV shows. I haven't seen it. Granted, we all know that.
Andor is prestige television.
Yeah, but comparatively speaking to the other Star Wars TV shows, I don't even think Andor would fall in the top 3.
Of all Star Wars TV shows?
Yeah.
No, but that's just because preference. Prestige-wise, it's top 3.
Probably. I wouldn't be shocked if it isn't. Or if it is.
I don't even know if we can count animated.
But still, though, I'm telling you right now, it's not a better TV show than Clone Wars. It's not a better TV show than Rebels. And you can make an argument for 7 different shows to be at number 3, but not 7, but fucking at least 3 different shows to be the 3rd spot.
Andor, I don't know. Andor's good, dude. You have to watch it.
Yeah, I will. But
Andor's good, but it's also dumb because I don't know why you were talking about movies and then had to switch to projects, dude. That just shows me that you either don't watch it or you don't understand Star Wars, and that's okay. I know people don't enjoy watching Star Wars as much as us, but I feel like it's so hard to have hot takes when I bet you this guy hasn't seen all of the Star Wars TV shows and stuff.
Yeah,
I
definitely
guarantee
think
you
he
this
doesn't.
guy probably hasn't watched Rebels or the Clone Wars all the way through.
He definitely hasn't watched Rebels. I can guarantee that.
And it's also kind of crazy that
I don't think the last
Mandalorian's not mentioned in this.
Right. I don't think The Last Jedi is the worst movie, but it's the second worst.
Yeah.
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 Each sequel movie gets worse.
Moving on. The Last Jedi is very easily the 3rd best Star Wars movie, just behind Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope. Second, the prequels are just not good. I don't care about nostalgia. I don't care about the memes. The Phantom Menace is boring, and Attack of the Clones is stupid and just utter dog shit. I don't even like them ironically.
He didn't even mention Revenge of the Sith at all. So that's just stupid.
This is another complete dog shit take. Why do people like this fucking... There's other fucking podcasts that talk about it. There's other TikTokers. Why do people like this movie? I don't get it. I almost like if it almost makes me think they don't like Star Wars, like old good Star Wars.
I just don't understand why people would be like, listen, I don't understand why people will be like, George Lucas doesn't know how to make Star Wars. That doesn't make sense. How does that make sense? Doesn't at all.
I think his dialogue is.
You can't say though he doesn't know how to make Star Wars.
He's a big picture guy.
That makes no sense though. It doesn't make any sense at all. And that's what people's argument is when they're like, the eighth movie.
I think George is too caught up in scenes that he wants to do that don't necessarily have to mean anything to the story. Like, I feel like George loved making the opening to Return of the Jedi, and it did not need to be in it. I love that movie, and I love that scene. I also didn't mention that movie, which means he thinks that The Last Jedi is also better than Return of the Jedi.
If you take 7, 8, 9 by themselves, take it out of the Skywalker saga, out of George Lucas' Star Wars, pretend it's a completely different story on its own. You take that trilogy and watch them in order. It is not a linear story at all. It is the most roller coaster ass fucking story. I mean, dude, this is the thing is, if you watch 4, 5, and 6, it's a story. Yeah.
If you watch 1, 2, and 3, they made it to where it's a continuation of a story, but it can kind of hold up as a story. 7, 8, 9 does not hold up as a story.
No, there's nothing at. You watch the 7th movie, they establish what's going on, whatever, fine. It was exactly like the 4th movie, but we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, but like
with no context, it makes no sense.
Right.
Who the fuck is Ben Solo or fucking Kylo Ren?
Yep. Okay, anyways, besides the point, it's basically the 4th movie all over again, so whatever. And then the 8th movie just has nothing to do with anything that was established in the 7th movie, and then the 9th one just goes completely off the rails with nothing to do with anything. Like, no, it's not the worst Star Wars movie, but it definitely is not the best one, and it's...
What, The Last Jedi? It's the second worst.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't get it.
I don't know how you can be like, I like this movie, because standalone by itself, take it out of the sequels.
And dude, you can have a hot take and like the movie. Don't come with this bullshit that it's better than.
But like, okay,
this.
You take the sequel trilogy out and leave it just as its own thing. Doesn't make sense. If you take the 8th movie out and make it a solo movie completely on its own, it still doesn't make sense.
What is likable about the movie?
Luke dies.
Not likable.
Exactly.
That fight scene, not that great. The visuals are. They look good, but they're not great. You know what I mean?
It looks fake.
Yeah, it's like it fell into the new CGI bullshit rendering stuff.
I don't know. Let's move on. Let's go to the next one. We need to talk about something else. Hopefully, it's a different topic.
This is the one I kind of mentioned earlier. Luke should be way weirder than he is portrayed in any of the movies. He was raised for 25 years. Wrong. He was raised for 25 years on some backwater planet controlled by one of the biggest crime lords in the galaxy. Oh, I'll take that back. He said 25 years and then put a question mark, meaning he doesn't know how long he was there.
Why are you making a Star Wars hot take and you don't even know what's going on?
One of the biggest crime lords in the galaxy. The schools there are very likely to be pretty suboptimal. His only friends are like 3 dudes his age, his aunt and uncle, and some old crazy wizard. Like, there is no way that this is a well-adjusted man. I mean, he did tongue his sister down, though. This was all over the place.
Well, first of all, I don't think there were schools on Tatooine at all. I don't think he went through.
We don't get a good representation of what a child going to school would be. Anakin was a slave.
There's two times we see schooling in Star Wars that I can remember. One's in the Clone Wars on Mandalore, and then the other one's in the Mandalorian with Grogu being in the class with the C-3PO.
And we're gonna see it in Skeleton Crew. There's actual schools in that,
right?
Schools in that.
And I'm telling you what, on Tatooine, there's no way anybody went to school. Not a single one of them bitches went to school. Nobody that has been on that planet.
No, they all have to work.
Yeah, there's
It's like 18 and 1900s, like America. Like kids are working in steel mines.
There's no
shit.
school. So
I saw a picture this morning, and it was a colorized picture of 3 girls who were working in like 1910s America. They were the ages of 6, 6, and 10.
okay.
Like, yeah, that didn't really. I mean, yeah, they were fucking working on this planet.
Yeah, and
Anakin worked.
I mean, and them being weird. All right, so listen, time out. Let me get into this. If we're talking about being weird, then why the fuck has anybody ever bitched for a single second about Hayden Christensen's performance in the prequels?
Oh my god, we're not even getting into this.
But if we're taking that into consideration, then why are you complaining about how?
Well, no, they're saying that Anakin is weird.
Right.
So he's asking why is Luke not?
I
weird?
think Luke is kind of weird, but
not as much as he probably should be.
he was also a lot older when we get to see him the first time. And if you compare him to Leia, which we did in the New Hope and the
he's civilized, and he really shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think that's just his aunt and uncle, like just raising him.
Yeah, but why are they civilized?
They were civilized beforehand.
They were from Tatooine. Well, I don't know if they're actually from Tatooine.
I don't know. I think that's stupid, to be honest. I think he is kind of weird.
I don't know. I think he means like, why doesn't they should have gave him some weird like family tradition thing that's weird.
Yeah, kissing your sister.
No, I think they mean like he has like a funny accent.
I don't know, but that actually really just triggered me where you're like, why isn't he weird? And then everybody's like, Hayden Christensen is too weird and this and that. That's literally stupid, and that pisses me off even more about the people that hate Hayden Christensen.
Jordan, the first 3 that we've read have been diabolical. I don't know why you're surprised. They're not going to get better.
Listen, this one really pissed me off, though.
Okay,
like,
Jesus.
I know people like The Last Jedi, and I don't, whatever. But, like, that one just really pissed me off, especially if we're talking about Anakin, which...
Just wait. Anyway, next one. The Mandalorian / Jedi lore is some of the most important lore in Star Wars. I really love when there's chances to explore really old stuff. On top of that, I think Jango Fett was not highlighted enough in the prequels. It's crazy that they use a Mandalorian's DNA to fight for the Jedi. That's messed up, man. Okay, I don't really know exactly what that means, but I kind of agree. The Mandalorian... I mean, he said Mandalorian and Jedi lore. Like, obviously Jedi lore is important. But maybe he means, like, the Mandalorian interconnection of Jedi, because that would make sense.
I mean,
like
yeah,
the first Darksaber and...
Revan fighting against the Mandalorians. Like, we don't have a lot of that
maybe
either.
He might have meant that.
Yeah,
too.
that would make more sense.
The Battle
to
of
me.
Malachor 5. You know what the Battle of Malachor 5 is? Look it up.
Yeah, and we still...
Actually, just read the Revan book.
I mean, we don't really have that much with that. Even with the Revan book, it's not really that much about that either. And it's just like, yeah, no, I agree with that one. That one.
Yeah, this is a fire take. This guy, I like this guy.
Yeah, that was a good.
Oh,
take.
I don't even know if it's a guy. I like this person. Sorry,
Yeah.
The name says Z.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
like
no.
I agree, and I would be down for a let's meet Django and how he meets. Show Django and Cad Bane doing some shit because they knew each other into Django meeting Dooku, and then I would love to see that. I bet you we'll never get it because we hate everything now, but yeah. So this one is 3 words, and it says Reylo for life, and I'm assuming they're shipping Kylo and Rey.
I just love how
I could give 2 fucks.
Well, the problem is with that, especially the bond that they had.
Right.
Anyway, the dyad that they supposedly formed together
Makes no sense.
just doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, with how they interacted with each other, you don't fucking just hate somebody's fucking guts and then be like, oh, I love you. I love you now. Like, what? Like...
Anakin does that.
No, he doesn't. It's not the same way. Anakin is love at first sight. They were literally...
No, I'm talking about when he choked her and he goes, I loved her. Where is she?
Well, that goes back
Fucking killed her.
That goes back to where we've talked about with the split personality with Darth Vader.
He's bipolar. He's got schizophrenia. He's autistic.
Yeah, but the Kylo Ren stuff, I just
He needs an IED.
It didn't make any sense, and then they just kissed each other in the rise.
IEP.
They just kiss each other in the Rise of Skywalker, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. So yeah, whatever.
I like just thinking about these. I fucking hate those movies so much.
I don't know.
Anyway. Uh-oh.
That one looks long as
Let
shit.
me finish it. Anakin sucked as a Jedi and only grew up after both of his legs got cut off. Why does it take you until you get burned in a lava lake to decide on whether you'd rather be a Jedi Master or a decent partner? Grow up, dude, and stop throwing a fit. Ben Solo was also one of the easiest characters to relate. What the fuck is this guy doing? Ben Solo was also one of the easiest characters to relate to. He grew up in the shadow of what his parents hoped he wouldn't become after sheltering him for his whole life. Got surprised when he got manipulated by someone telling him what he wanted to hear. My English hurts so bad.
Okay, I don't even want to comment about the Kylo stuff because that was stupid. I don't even know what the hell that was.
He basically is saying that it's relatable that your parents don't want you to become a bad person, so then you get manipulated and become a bad person. I don't know what this guy's life is, but that's not how real life works. So,
Anakin was the best Jedi. It states that in multiple, like
he's not the best Jedi.
The Revenge of the Sith.
He's not the best
Revenge of the Sith novelization says that he is the best Jedi, and he has the most potential to be the best Jedi.
No, Obi-Wan's the best Jedi.
I'm just saying.
No, but I'm being dead serious. Like, even then, Anakin was still not the best Jedi.
I mean, no, he wasn't nowhere near what he could have been.
No, not even like that.
I know, but
even in a general sense, he makes way too many decisions that are not good.
Well, even from a maturity standpoint, we see it with Obi-Wan, where takes a long time to reach a point where he's mature, and he was
Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
In the Master and Apprentice book, and the Padawan book, and the two books we've covered on this podcast.
Anakin is never mature.
Yeah, okay, but he never got to that point. You have a difference.
Obi-Wan became mature at 19.
You have a difference with Obi-Wan though, where he's like with the Jedi from when he's 3 to when he gets to a certain point. Anakin's.
You can't say that he's the best Jedi.
You can't say he's the worst one because he's
he didn't
definitely
say worst.
not.
He just said he sucked.
That's.
Oh yeah, we called it a lava lake. I thought it said lava cake when I was reading
but
it.
Even with that,
he got killed by a lava cake.
But even with that being said, I mean, yeah. So I understand what you're saying. You're talking about the ideal, like, perfect Jedi.
I mean, there's 10 people I'd take over Anakin as the perfect Jedi.
Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just doing the things that he's supposed to do and executing things that he's supposed to execute.
He also does those wrong.
Well, he does.
So no, I understand what he's trying to say. Sucked is not the right word. Anakin Skywalker was an imperfect Jedi who only decided. I don't know where he's getting this. Grew up when his legs got cut off. Do you think he was a grown up when he became Vader? He was a child.
You think
he was a?
I don't think he was more mature when he became Darth Vader. I don't think so.
I would say not. Every time anytime someone says no, he fucking snaps their neck. He's less mature. He's less mature.
From an ideal Jedi standpoint, I understand where he was trying to come from and with what you're saying, but as like performance as a Jedi, when he was a Jedi, he is one of the better performers. And I don't think anybody can argue that. You know what I mean?
Sorry. I was looking up what this meant.
But do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, sorry. I was still thinking about this.
But do you know what I'm trying to say, though?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say when you were saying what you were saying. I understand.
Yeah, but like in the context we were talking about, it was kind of wrong.
Yeah. I mean, ideal standpoint, ideal Jedi, no, clearly not. He becomes fucking Darth Vader. What are we talking about?
Dude, I don't understand why people like... This is...
Let's move on.
I feel like because people love Luke so much, they just can't accept to like Anakin. And like where I'm like younger and I like Anakin, but I really like Luke too. I might like Luke just as much as I like Anakin. If we got an Empire show that showed Luke as much as we get of Clone Wars Anakin, I think I'd like Luke even more.
Or, if they did the sequels right and had, like, Legends stuff of Luke into canon, that would be phenomenal, but we didn't.
That's what I'm saying, but, like, I like Luke just as much as I like Anakin and Obi-Wan. Like, I love those characters. I feel like people think that they can't like Anakin because they like Luke.
From a canon standpoint, I probably can't say I like Luke as much. From just...
Bar 7, 8, 9.
Still, though.
I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking Legends, too, in my head.
With Legends added to it, absolutely.
And dude, his whole dynamic, he's just such a good person, and it hurts. Because he gets fucked over constantly.
Yeah, and then we see the... Never mind. Your guys' favorite movie, and, they just completely just change who Luke is, but okay. Whatever. Next one.
Episodes 1 through 3
already mad.
Are good movies.
Oh.
I enjoyed them as a child with the stolen VHS my brother took from his friend.
You sold VHSs then? We have them on DVDs.
We had them on
DVDs. I don't know when we got those DVDs. Never mind.
They definitely would have came out on VHS.
Yeah, they probably would have.
In 99? Yeah, they would have been on VHS.
Yeah, I guess
we didn't,
right.
though. We had those skinny covers.
Yeah.
They shoved like 6 into a fucking piece of cardboard. Yeah, this was just like a nice one. It was a refresher in the middle of this dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it thousands of times. The prequels are not as bad as people think they are. They're really not.
I like kind of what I just said, where I feel like people because they like Luke, they can't like Anakin. I feel like that's how the prequels are. They don't want to like it because it's
not. It's not the same as how it was with the originals. The originals were established.
And like I guess people could say that about 7, 8, 9, but those are like bad. Like they're like even with Star Wars, like the 1, 2, and 3, they're not the best movies. They're good stories though.
Right.
And I'll fight that.
I mean,
you can argue until you blue in the face that you don't like that because this isn't this, and you could even say they're shitty movies to my face, that they are not good in a world of movies. Cool. The stories are good. 7, 8, 9 story is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. You can't tell me what the plot point, like, you can't tell me where they had to go. Like, and from 4 to 6, you had to get Luke to become a Jedi, and from Vader to realize it's fucked up, and then for them to overthrow and have a happy ending. Mm-hmm. In the first 3, you have to get to the point where Anakin becomes Vader. So you see the come up of Anakin and Obi-Wan, get to where Obi-Wan has the chance to be old and die, and to raise, like, to get Luke, and then you have Anakin turn. Like, there's a story. 7, 8, 9 legitimately is, we start with Kylo and Finn. Finn means absolutely nothing, even though you made him out to be a good character. You bring Rey in, who we don't know who the fuck is. We go through all of it, and then at the end, we figure out who the fuck she's supposed to be, and then the end of it, she changes who she is. She just identifies as another name. Like, there's no, like, we don't get anywhere from 7, 8, 9 where I'm like, wow, like, there's development of character. She finds out who she is, and she still chooses to dress like she lives in the desert and get canceled. Not canceled, because I guess she's... We'll get to that part of this video in a minute. But I don't know. Honestly, I would have been way more okay if Rey just was not a part of it, and they would have just rolled with Kylo being the bad guy that's Han and Leia's kid, and that Finn was just a defective stormtrooper who was force sensitive.
How are they defective stormtroopers? They're soldiers. They volunteer for that.
He defects from the First Order, not like defective. But
I was like, that doesn't make
He
any
defects
sense.
from the military. He leaves the military. Fuck, you've got me so fucked up now. He leaves the First Order.
You're
and
thinking way too hard about
he
this.
goes and trains with Luke, and he's like one of a force-sensitive clone, and they go, and then he fights. Fucking Kylo kills Luke, cool, and then in the end he beats him. That would have been a way better storyline.
If it was Kylo heavy, it would have been a way better trilogy, but it was not.
I mean, they even fucked his name up, so, like, I don't know. Next one. Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie.
No. It's not.
The Clone Wars TV show is only for kids.
Absolutely.
That was the same.
Listen,
That was in the same thing.
okay, fuck. We're not gonna talk about Rogue One. We've talked about Rogue One a lot on this podcast.
Not the best Star Wars movie. That's all.
No, and then the Clone Wars. It was for kids for a millisecond.
Season 1 and Season 2 episodes 1 through 4.
No, I don't even think that. I think, dude, they started Season 1, realized their fucking audience, it was not fucking kids. I don't know why they would have thought that would have been a kid's show anyways.
Because they were trying to get kids to like it.
They did a really bad job if that was what they were trying to do.
I mean, not really. Tons of kids watched it, but also teenagers and young adults watched it.
Isn't the Season 1 when Ventress kills the one clone and then has him on her blade and then pulls it to her and kisses him on the cheek?
Yeah, but they're clay. They're not like blood splatter, which they don't do blood in Star Wars anyways, really.
They do a little bit in the originals, but...
I know, but like that's
right.
that's like half the point. Like the blades are so hot that they sear the ends and like there doesn't like massive bloody shit.
Clone Wars is not for kids. There's so much violence, and then
I'm still trying to convince the guy at my job to watch it, and he's like teetering, and I'm like excited.
But dude, just
like, I want him to watch it.
Sheer story.
Yeah. Also, that's a funny story. I'm gonna shout him out. We were talking about. I brought something up and mentioned him. I didn't say his name, but just my coworker, and he was like. I love listening to him because he's like, I'm that guy. he's like, I'm listening to him at work, and he's like, I'm that friend at work. He'll probably be on at some point, but I'm scared.
But literally though, like the Clone Wars
is so good. And that's the thing, like if I could recommend anything, they're so easy to watch too. They're 20 minutes. Watch a story arc, stop. Go do something else. Watch your story arc.
They
go
range
to work. Watch your story arc. Go eat lunch. Like you need to watch like 3 episodes at a time, which is not even an hour.
It's anywhere from 2 to 4. If you watch 3, it's an hour. If you watch the 4, it's a little over an hour. But what did they say about the Clone Wars? It's a kid's show?
It's specifically for kids.
No. There's so much violence in the show.
Like I feel like all these people only like the guys who were talking about The Last Jedi only watched 7, 8, 9, and then this guy only watched the first season. Like that has to be what it is.
Yeah.
You watch Order 66.
We talked about it before. There's 4 episodes in the Clone Wars that 3 episodes that are in the Clone Wars. It's like the last 3 episodes. They were in the top 10 for best episodes in all TV shows.
Like, the more I think about it, there's like voodoo magic, there's fucking killings, there's assassinations, there's this and there's that, there's explosions, there's Jedi being bad. Like there's so much shit.
Stuff.
Mandalorians.
Darth Maul's not dead.
The whole scene with Maul killing. I'm not gonna spoil. Maul kills a character, and that's sad as fuck.
Yeah. It literally, you got Maul. You got some of the best fight scenes in all of Star Wars, and yeah, it's animated, but they also used
not all of them.
Right.
Some were motion capture.
Yeah. There's motion capture ones in the newest seasons.
The last season.
Yeah.
Motion capture.
But it's like, dude, like, no, it's not. It's definitely worth your time. We'll say it over and over and over again. It's the best piece of Star Wars.
And honestly, like if you like it enough, the Rebels is the exact same way. They started out kids show, did not end kids show.
Well, yeah, they started out the Clone Wars and was like, this is for kids, and then it pivoted immediately, and it's like, all right, we'll actually make a kids show this time, and then they pivoted again.
Yeah, because like they can't not kill people.
It's about I don't even think they made it all the way through season 1. I think it was about halfway through season 1 is when they pivoted in Rebels.
I don't know.
It was either that or it's season 2. Season 3 of Rebels is good. I think 2 and 3 are really good.
Like you say that, but like I can't remember what happens in season 3.
One of the saddest deaths in all of Star Wars.
There's only 4.
There's 4.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I think it's season 2 and 3 are just phenomenal.
Season 4, you can just like start to tell that they're like, "Hey, we might cancel you." But it's still really good. Yeah. Like the ending of that, even the way they ended it, that show ends good.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna call it a cop out, but like there's only certain ways you can end TV shows, and like that's where most people fuck up. And like
even with
what
the
they
cancellation,
had, they didn't fuck it.
And
up.
Even with the cancellation of a show, they literally ended it where it was like okay.
And now they're picking it back up because that's what they always do.
Well, they're picking it up with Ahsoka.
That's what I meant.
Well, I don't know if they thought that thought that through.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're not-
Ahsoka is season 1 is basically Rebels season 5, so that also plays into it. So.
Yeah, so nothing's complete about this show.
Yeah.
I have 2 more on this one, and then I'll flip to the other one. Here we are. The Star Wars Rebels series is extremely underrated, and I love seeing those characters come to life in Ahsoka. I didn't read this beforehand. This is exactly what we were just talking about. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
No, I didn't write this. Love seeing those characters come to life in Ahsoka. I think that the story of Star Wars is much better than the newest trilogy. I want to see more. That didn't make sense. I think that the story of Star Wars is much better than the. Oh, okay. So the confinement of story between 1 through 6 is much better than the newest trilogy. So including Rebels, Clone Wars, shit like that. I want to see more of Ezra Bridger.
Yeah, I the problem with seeing more Ezra is I don't think we're gonna get a lot of Ezra in the Ahsoka
he did
series.
Build a new lightsaber.
Yeah, but I don't.
Spoilers.
I don't think. I don't think he's gonna be a heavy player in the Ahsoka.
He's
series.
either going to be a heavy player or not.
He's not going to.
And the one theory I made about the show, about a character dying, he might have a big role if that character dies.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to be the guy.
I also talked about this before on another episode. If anybody's going to say Baby Yoda and it's canon, it is...
No!
Absolute. But, dude...
Grogu!
If Ezra...
We can't make mistakes like that.
No.
They're going to think we're dumb.
I'm not... trying to quote a futuristic thing. I think if anybody's going to say it, it's going to be Ezra. He's going to say, "Is that a Baby Yoda?"
Oh, I thought. Oh,
I wasn't calling Grogu that. Oh. I think
I'm still fighting you. We
fighting
do
me?
fine. We give each other tickets when we say wrong things. So we you guys don't see it, but we make fun of each other behind the scenes.
Anyways, I do think that the Baby Yoda will become part of canon because I guarantee you Ezra's going to say it. And to be honest, I'm okay with it as long as it's Ezra. If it's anybody else, I'll be pissed off. It has to be Ezra.
Does he know?
He knows Yoda. I think it's either a Force vision when they were in the temple thingy when Ahsoka talked to Anakin as well. Like... Yeah, he knows of Yoda.
Excuse me.
And it's like, man, I think it's going to become canon.
I don't know. I have one more in here.
We didn't even talk about it being a great show. I mean, we kind of already did.
Nah,
but,
bro, that was a spot on
I mean, yeah.
hot take. There are no good Star Wars movies. Dave Filoni is actually hurting Star Wars instead of helping it. Filoni now only seems to be more interested in writing his own weird fan fiction than writing an actually good story. First off, your grammar was terrible. I'm only saying that because I disagree with what you're saying. First off, there are good Star Wars movies, and literally the world disagrees with you. So cool.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't think we ever sat down and talked about it. I don't necessarily not disagree with the first part of the second half of this.
Re-say it, please.
Dave Filoni is actually hurting Star Wars instead of helping it. And it's not that I fully agree with that. I don't think that Dave Filoni is as good as... He's not... People are calling him the savior of Star Wars, and I don't agree with that statement.
I think he could be. But I do think...
I think he's almost in the same seat as George, where George needs a crew of people to be like, okay, George, you have this great idea. Let's build it into a thing that it can't exist. And that's what George, that's what kind of mentioned earlier. George is I want it to go this way. Figure out how it can get there type of guy. And I'm gonna make all the little fun shit.
So you think Dave Filoni loves the same?
He likes the big picture thing. But I guarantee you, the overarching of this Ahsoka thing is gonna be good. It's gonna be what little nuanced bullshit does he do in between? Is it gonna be good?
I feel like the Ahsoka series /
Mando and Grogu.
Well, not even that.
Rebels season 18.
The Heir to the Empire movie is where his main focus is, and I think that's why I've had the opinion with the Bad Batch. I feel like it was super rushed. I feel like it could have been...
I feel like you dislike the Bad Batch more than I
don't...
I'm excited that we got an ending that wasn't what we thought it was going to be. And I'm not mad at that because, like, usually the endings have to end in death, dying,
also
and despair. This one was actually, like, a happier ending, and it's like, okay, cool.
But there was questions that we had after it. Like,
I mean,
we
kind of know the gist. They just went back to that planet and lived.
I don't know, but, like, I just feel like there could have been so much more with it, and I feel like he just wanted to end it just so he could work on the other stuff. When you could have just had more content.
But the second half of this, the Filoni seems to be interested in writing some weird fan fiction. Hey, guess what, Dick? We want the weird fan fiction. We don't want this other bullshit.
Like, why wouldn't you want fan fiction as a fan of Star Wars?
I feel like this guy just hates Star Wars. But like that's technically all of the stuff that people want. We want Revan stuff. We want Plagueis, and we want High Republic, and we want Legends Luke. All is fanfic. All of it is Disney and Lucasfilms didn't write any of that shit.
Yeah,
it's all fan fiction. A lot of Star Wars is just fan fiction.
Yeah, I
don't know what that comment even means.
I just think the person doesn't like Star Wars. That's literally the only thing that makes sense. He literally said none of the movies are good, so clearly he doesn't like any of Star Wars. So.
I forgot. This is an article by The Observer. Just by the way, Star Wars hot takes from. The people who made the hot takes were people who work at this company. Maybe I shouldn't have shouted them out. Yeah, anyway. Whatever. You guys, thanks. We're going to jump to this next list. Hot take number 1. The sequel trilogy having problems... The sequel trilogy having problems hasn't magically redeemed the prequel trilogy or made it more enjoyable.
We already talked about it. Move on. Next one.
Dude, like, what the fuck? Oh, dude, they wrote articles under them.
People keep saying, like, the sequel trilogy is going to get the same treatment as the prequel trilogy, where, like, in 10 years, the sequel trilogy is going to be good. But, like, legitimately, dude...
Just to sum it up, he called Revenge of the Sith an okay movie. And the first two are okay. Like, no, I've never enjoyed the first two particularly. So.
Next one. I'm over it.
The prequels went wrong by telling a story that is ultimately unnecessary. All right, I'm done.
You're done.
Star Wars needs to end its over-reliance on the same handful of legacy characters. I agree.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Like,
this dude's a dude, man. He's bringing up like how fun the Knights of the Old Republic game is and how he would love to see that. Like, this is a Star Wars fan.
Dude, we keep just going back to the Skywalker saga, which we're gonna get to here in a little bit.
Honestly, Disney should have just like I saw something earlier because they're talking about. Fuck it, we're just going to bring it up. They're talking about making another trilogy.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be an extension. Why can't they just come out and say, hey, like, honestly, because I don't know did you see who's doing it, who's supposed to be in charge of it?
Yeah, it was like a co-writer for Rebels and a co-writer for the Wolverine movies and...
No, X-Men 97.
Okay.
Which I kind of want to see because I heard it's fantastic.
Well, I mean, you got Rebels. Rebels is fantastic. So.
Wouldn't it just be awesome if Luke wakes up?
It's just a dream.
It was just a dream.
It's a fever dream.
And he wakes up to look at Kylo or Ben and just like covers him with a blanket and walks out.
It's not going to happen.
It's not because Rey is in it.
Rey's supposed to be in this? I thought it was all new characters.
I'm pretty sure they canceled her movie and the trilogy's about her.
Next. That wasn't even a hot take. That was what we were talking about.
That was just in between.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, we're just at a point where it's like, it's just Skywalker saga.
I don't want to read the next one.
Okay, well.
It just pissed me off.
Anyways, the only thing I'm looking forward to that's in the Skywalker saga is the Ahsoka stuff and then the Heir to the Empire. Other than that, let's get the fuck out of the Skywalker saga.
I mean, I would say that, but they tried to, and they've already fucked up once. Yeah. Can we just let people who like? I feel like there should be a cognitive Star Wars test that you need to take before you can like write something in Star Wars. Like you should be like required. Like it should be like a degree. You should be required to watch an X amount of Star Wars movies, TV shows, and stuff. You should be required to read X amount of books. And if they tell me they do, they're fucking lying.
Yeah.
Anyway, hot take number 3. In 15 to 20 years, The Last Jedi would be a highly regarded film.
That's literally.
Can we stop?
That's literally what I said already, dude. Like they think it's gonna get the prequel treatment where it's just gonna be so much better in 10 years. No, it's not. It's not gonna happen. The prequels started getting better and like people liked it more because they're actually good. When you watch them in 1999 and you watch the originals in the 70s and 80s, like. Dude, like, these movies are only going to get better with time, especially, like, with how good the CGI and everything is, especially in the third movie. Like, when you have wonky CGI, like, in that movie, we've already talked about that earlier. Like, dude, no, it's not. And then the story. It's awful. It's just not going to get better. It's not. I don't understand the fascination with The Last Jedi. I just don't.
Dude, the thing is there are so many moments where I'm like, this could get good. This is a good dude. That's the thing is Adam Driver as Kylo and I'm blanking on his name. It's Poe, but I can't think of his name. That guy,
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, they're both great.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily dislike Finn. I think his character was shit. I don't dislike his actor. His actor was very straightforward about what he.
So was Oscar.
The own actors hate the movies.
So
How?
Oscar Isaac was the same way. Even
Adam Driver said he'll never fucking not do a single Star Wars thing again.
Adam Driver did not say very much about it, but he definitely.
No, he said he'll never do.
He definitely hinted at the fact that he did not enjoy what he did with Star Wars.
This one's. I'm going to read this one just to read it, but it's kind of ass. The so-called Jedi robes were originally just typical desert attire and not something ceremonial or unique. So he's saying in the 4th movie where we see Obi-Wan wearing like old Jedi robes, that like that's just something you would wear in the desert, which I kind of get because like real humans wear that kind of stuff. Like you're covered head to toe to not get sand everywhere, to keep it out of your face. Shit. Like I kind of get that, but like this is a weird hot take.
Yeah, I don't even really know why that was a thought.
Hot take?
We get to see the Jedi robes in the prequels. We see the Jedi robes in High Republic art, even in the fucking Acolyte series.
No, I think he just means like he doesn't understand why they chose to keep going with it.
Because it was established the way it was established in 1977.
Okay, I don't understand. This is like a good hot take, this next one, but I don't understand the picture.
Okay.
So the pictures of Rey and Kylo in the scene in The Last Jedi that sucks when they're in that throne room.
Fight choreography.
Yeah,
is
fucking dude.
horrendous.
They're getting their ass beat kinda by these fucking guards. But anyway, hot take number 5: Star Wars does not need the Jedi and the Force to tell fun stories. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I'll take some bounty hunter shows. I'll take. Honestly, dude, like I'd be cool with like an Andor-esque with senators. Whether you just follow senators around and learn about their day to day, and then like one of the senators is like doing some corrupt shit, and the other senators are trying to figure out which senator it is, and like almost like a Law and Order, not like a Law and Order, but like a mystery crime ridden. Like I would be cool with that too.
I don't know if I would particularly enjoy that, but
it's just a regular. It's kind of like not exactly. It's Star Wars world. But nothing to do with typical Star Wars.
I mean, Andor. I don't
know if we should waste money on those now. We need to finish the regular Star Wars shit. But dude, and that's the thing is like the problem with because we talked about. Actually, I don't know if we talked about it on here, but they're gonna cut down how much Star Wars we get.
Yeah.
To try to make things.
You know
better.
what's weird is that they said we're cutting down on each Star Wars per year, and then have just been announcing new Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, they're announcing it like this is the 10-year plan. I'm like, what if something comes up?
Remember when they had the 10-year plan like 4 years ago now, and they haven't executed any of it? Like they've canceled everything that was a part of that 10-year plan. Like legitimately. Like I don't understand. Like I don't know where they're. I don't know what the future holds for Star Wars. I really don't. Like, imagine if we got the Heir to the Empire movie canceled.
Dude, I don't.
I would literally we'd probably end this podcast.
Ready? The prequel trilogy told a story that was ultimately unnecessary. You want to read through this one? This is the last one, so let's read all the way through it. This is from Trekking with Dennis. I don't know what that is. Anyway, fuck it. This isn't saying the prequels are bad and commenting on things like quality or narratives. Instead, what I'm saying is the story of the prequel trilogy didn't actually add anything to the Star Wars saga. Everything we knew about the characters like Palpatine, Kenobi, and Vader are already explained in the original films. That is stupid. So that's literally just being like, yeah, like Obi-Wan told Luke that his dad fought in the Clone Wars. Like, who gives a fuck? We'll just accept that answer. Instead of just being like, hey, here's his dad in the Clone Wars.
Or just the sadness of Anakin falling to Darth Vader. Like,
at best, the prequels were padded backstory. Isn't that what all Star Wars movies are?
Isn't that what all any story is?
They showed us the Clone Wars firsthand instead of the conflict being left rather ambiguous part of the saga's lore that was referenced but unexplained. You just said it was referenced but unexplained, and then you're like, they explain it. Isn't that literally defeating the purpose of your... Okay, never mind, we're done. I'm not reading anymore. Let's just talk about this fucking prequel trilogy. Or double sequel. What are we even going to call this one?
Extra sequel.
The second sequel trilogy.
What would you even... Yeah, what
the tri-sequel. No, the quad sequel. We're going to call it that. No. Sequel squared. Pied. No.
Pie.
No, it's not squared. It's to the second power.
Who gives a shit? That's
no,
what
it is
it's called.
squared. Wait. Yeah, it is squared.
Okay.
Squared because then the 3 is cubed. We're good. Because, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
What I do like about it is that I feel like they chose somebody that could write a good story.
I don't take that as a good answer.
That's the only positive thing out of this at all. And that's not even that great.
I'm down for movies. Why are they Star Wars? Anakin Skywalker saga. Sorry, Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
Why are they have to be saga? Just make independent. Now, if they come out and like it's like all just hype news or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we're making a trilogy, but it has nothing to do with anything. It's just 200 years after Rey and them. It's not part of the Skywalker saga. We're just making a new trilogy.
Or even beforehand, whatever. It doesn't
It's
matter.
not gonna be beforehand. It's after.
Doesn't matter.
It's 100% after. Now, if
no.
if they drop us into here's a new Jedi temple and the Jedi are flourishing again, awesome.
Right.
So down for that. We have way more futuristic shit. I don't want fucking X-Wings. I don't want TIE fighters. I don't want boring lightsabers. I want cool, weird, insane. I want katanas. I want cool shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to be I want them to talk about the Empire and the First Order like how they talk about the Clone Wars. Remember the Clone Wars? Honestly, I don't want it to be mentioned at all.
I don't know. The Skywalker saga they need to stop. They do. Finish Heir to the Empire and then get out of it.
Dude, and that's the thing is like if they come out and they say no, this trilogy is going to be not Skywalker saga, it's just a new trilogy. I'd be cool.
Yeah. I would honestly, if
they did like a reincarnation?
If they're gonna stay in the Skywalker saga, I'd rather just see them make up more Clone Wars stuff. Why not? You can make more battles.
But no, it's after Rey.
No, I'm just saying in general. If they stay in the Skywalker saga, just make more Clone Wars. But that's what I would rather them do.
Nah, dude,
Dude, the Clone Wars could be endless.
We need to get out of...
Yeah, I know, that's what we're talking about. But I'm like...
30 BBY and 40 ABY. We need to get out of it.
Yeah.
We tried to get out of it, and it was terrible. But we need to get... And that's the thing. I think they should have went thousands of years in the future. I don't know why they were like, we're going to do 72 years in the future. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, why did they... Like, I don't know. We need different shit. And, like... finish what we need to finish. I know, I get
I'm
it.
really excited for the I don't know what they're calling it, but the first movie about the first Jedi. I don't remember who's writing or directing that.
Well, so there was news that came out about that, and it was super interesting because they talked about how it was kind of going to be based off the book, but they changed that now.
Well, yeah, because the director was like, that doesn't make any sense because it doesn't. Because it's supposed to be about the first Jedi. That book is not about the first Jedi. So
Yeah. So they're actually supposed to take a religious route about it. I don't know if you saw that or not. They're supposed to the Force is supposed to start as religion. And
it kind of still is.
No, but the people don't have the Force. They're worshiping something that they don't know about. Like there's a Jesus character where he's walking on water and turning water to wine.
We already kind of had a Jesus character.
Shut up. But you know what I mean? There's going to be that's the first guy. That guy's different.
I'm more excited about that because it's going to be completely different.
Hope they are terrible.
Why?
No, I hope they're fighting and they're terrible.
Oh, I thought you were saying I hope the movie's bad.
No,
I was
no.
What? No, I am the most.
No, I hope they go to move a rock and they're
I think besides,
and it's just a pebble.
I think besides Heir to the Empire, that's probably the most.
Camera.
That's probably the most excited thing I am for because it's something completely different.
Do you
really completely different?
This is off topic. Do you think we need to see the death of Chewbacca?
I don't know
because he'll definitely be dead by this next trilogy of movies.
I don't know how old.
Dude, what if
Wookiees
they
live to.
What if there's a Wookiee and they worship Chewbacca? I won't want to cry.
Jesus,
that would be so sad. What if they have a pendant and it's he makes he breeds Wookiees and then after all this he doesn't know what to do with his life, so he starts repopulating Kashyyyk.
Jesus.
Or making going to a planet to build up the Wookiee population again, and he's known as the savior of the Wookiees, and then they just have a shrine of him made out of tree.
I don't know what just happened to you.
I don't know. I got philosophical.
But
that'd be so sad though, and it would be even sadder if they had a statue and they always had a Han statue with him.
Jesus Christ. All right, I don't want to be thinking about sad stuff anymore because most of this
trilogy made me sad. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
I think the Star Wars future is a huge question mark. I really do.
No shit.
I have a 10-year plan. 4 years into it, haven't done any of it. Don't execute it. Don't make a new 10-year plan. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. That's all I got. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of want stuff to either make it super cool or make it super sad. I'm tired of this feel good happy shit.
The best parts of Star Wars are the sad parts of Star Wars.
Yeah, but I don't know. I still predicting Ahsoka's dying. She's gonna die. We have to watch her die. And if it's in a movie, we'll have to watch it in the movie theater.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.